welcome to the show. I am your host, Suzanne Monk, host of the original live Periscope cast all about Donald J. Trump, Trump Talk US. Welcome again to the show. This is episode 95. Can you believe it? We've been talking about Trump for 95 episodes. It's very humid here in Chicago. This is the best. It's the best we're going to do with his hair. But that doesn't mean we can't keep talking about Trump. So that's what we're going to do, you guys. Yet another fascinating day on the campaign trail in 2016. Hillary Clinton, another coughing fit. Another coughing fit at a rally. Something is not right with Hillary Clinton's health, you guys. There's something wrong. And today she blamed it on allergies and she's allergic to Trump. She might be allergic to the press. That would make more sense. Hillary Clinton did, in fact, purchase a new plane. She's on her new plane, which allows her to bring some press with her so that she has the illusion of offering a press conference to her hand-selected favorite press pets who will pass on exactly the information that she wants them to pass on. So, she did in fact take a few softball questions on the plane. Choked up. Couldn't answer the questions. Stopped answering questions. So, in fact, it's so bad, it's so difficult for Hillary's press corps that follows her around to get the campaign to talk to them. Literally, the press corps in the back of the plane wrote on an orange, the fruit on the orange, the marker. Who would you rather have dinner with, Trump or Putin? And they rolled it forward in the plane. And her press guy circled Putin and rolled it back. Hillary's probably going to count that as a press conference too. So, if that's the case, she said 2 press conferences. The airplane press conference, it lasted 89 seconds, and the orange in the last 270 or 290 or 5 million days. Who knows? It's been forever. Been absolutely forever. All the while, Trump keeps racking up great things for the Trump campaign. A letter of support from 88 retired generals and military figures opposing Hillary Clinton and endorsing Donald J. Trump. An open letter issued today. Many of these officials, already the haters, are trying to say, oh, but it's just these old guys. It's not any of the military people now or, the ones that are helping us in this mess. Right. It's not. Most of the people who are on this letter probably retired in disgust in the last decade or so watching the way the military has been used. So, not surprised that they support somebody who actually wants to use our military wisely, as instead of occupying force to manipulate politics in every nation we enter, instead using it as a force for protection of America and American interests. Like it was supposed to be. So, a lot of support there. The haters are going to hate, but certainly these are some high-end military officials all endorsing Donald Trump, particularly because of his decision to not further gut the military. We already are literally piecing our planes together through scrap parts. We have, because of these contracts and donors and all of this stuff, we have all these planes that we don't need. We have stuff that we do need but we can't buy because we're contracted to buy other stuff that we don't need. It's madness. It's madness how the government runs things. We need a better mentality. We need to let the military do a better job, encourage the military to do a better job, but also facilitate that. Because a lot of the reason these contracts stay over is not because of the military. It's like, yeah, let's just keep making a bunch of planes we don't need. No. Generals don't want that. You know who wants that? Senators, who have those factories in their districts. And they're getting donations from them. Fact of life. Fact. And we are not going to let it continue under a Trump administration. Now, Donald Trump over the weekend also attended the county fair in Ohio, had a huge 12,000 person rally, and did a veterans town hall event today. Great, with Michael Flynn. Answered a lot of questions, talked with, and so we just keep going. We just keep going. They freeze us and we just keep going. As I was saying, interesting how Periscope plays this little game. It's not just Periscope. We all know Google is completely out of control. If you go into if you've signed up for Donald Trump emails, you should go into your spam folder and find how many of the emails Donald Trump sends you are in your spam folder. Some of them you'll even click when you click on them, Google will tell you this is a dangerous email. So the social media is definitely operating in an anti-Trump fashion. It is what it is. So if we freeze up again, we're just going to keep going. We're just going to come back. We'll do this all night. Yes, let's talk a little bit about that. I'm not sure what's going on with Megyn Kelly, but I do know what's going on with Gretchen Carlson. Gretchen Carlson did receive a settlement of $20 million from Roger Ailes and Fox News so that she would not continue to press, at this point I'm assuming, charges. I mean, what has to happen to you to where they give you $20 million to stop talking about it? Yeah, exactly. Absolutely ridiculous. So, Gretchen Carlson will in fact be getting a settlement of $20 million, and I'm assuming she's not going to be talking much about that afterwards. But the interesting news, Greta Van Susteren has retired. After, since 2002 she's had her show. Greta Van Susteren of On the Record is retiring. She's taking advantage of something called the Key Persons Clause in her contract, which allows her to get out of her contract if a key person at the company leaves. Well, Roger Ailes, obviously being a key person, leaving allows her to do that. But that's not going to be the end of it, because in an interview with her husband, as well as interviews with Greta and comments on her Facebook page and others, it looks like there may in fact be litigation with Greta and Fox News. So there's something more going on, and certainly a full-on meltdown went on at Fox this year. A full-on meltdown. Now, I don't know, the sexual harassment on Gretchen Carlson, that was settled. She settled for $20 million. So they're not going to talk about that anymore. I do not know what's happening with Megyn Kelly. They didn't really, see, when you settle, they don't tell you what was said. That's all the whole point of settling, is that it allows you to keep that quiet. I'm sure that's why they paid $20 million. They're not going to tell you that. You can ask me all those questions you want. They're not going to tell you that. That's why she got $20 million. So she doesn't tell everybody that. That's what a settlement is. So, that's the case. There will be continue to be more, because obviously additional litigation, there's still additional shoes falling at Fox News. I think it's a full-on Trump divide going on there. There must be some sort of bizarre civil war at Fox News that's melting everything down. So, we'll find out what happens. There's no man who took her time slot. You should watch this channel. So, we're going to roll on a second. Additionally, I was going to talk about these CNN polls. So MSNBC decided, okay, that's fine. That is fine. We're just going to keep going. We'll just keep going, Periscope, all night. I got nothing but time. Nothing but time. We'll just do this all night long. You and me, freezing up. I'm going to start again. Freezing up. I'm going to start again. Because people are going to hear the news about Trump. And the little haters are going to hear me talk about Trump. They're going to chime in. Haters got to have someplace to hate. Periscope. All your fans are going to leave if they don't know where to hate. So you might as well leave the Trump shows alone so that you have a way to bring in your hater viewers. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, you guys, 2012 electorate is not the 2016 electorate. As I was saying, Hillary Clinton doing poorly with Donald Trump doing great with African Americans, double digits. Doing great with Hispanics, despite the news. Doing absolutely fabulous with white women. Absolutely fabulous with independents. Absolutely, like 50 to 39. Like, kicking butt with independents. All of you haters should be afraid of what's going to happen with the independent vote, because independents decide this election, and they've decided elections in the past. They should be looking at that 2012 electorate. What are the independents doing? Well, the independents are going for Trump this year, and they decided the last election, as they often do. So, doing great with white women. But no, they're too worried that Donald Trump is doing, quote, too well with the white uneducated. That they're being oversampled. Yeah, the 2012 election. Where Obama ran, which she's not going to get Obama's coalition. It's not going to happen. We've been talking about this all week on Trump Talk. Black leaders from across the country don't like her. There was a Black Lives Matter protest telling everybody, don't vote for Hillary. She's not going to get Obama's coalition. So it's not going to happen. So they can keep telling you all about the 2012 electorate. And if Hillary just gets the 2012 electorate, then she's going to win. She doesn't have that. She doesn't have the 2012 electorate, so she's not going to win. You know who's going to win? Trump Pence, 2016. That's who's going to win. That is who is going to win. We continue to do extremely well in Ohio, in Pennsylvania, in Florida. Polls showing us, many polls from different organizations showing us up again in Iowa, and up. We're doing well in Michigan. We are cranking in on some of these blue states. Guys, the trend is not for Hillary. And she can't even hold a whole speech without coughing up a lung. So, two things keep weighing her down. The drip of these FBI issues, and the revelations that she has no idea what she's doing, that she's been brain damaged. She doesn't know what classified is. She doesn't know how to have secure information. She doesn't know how to hold on to... I mean, she literally clicked a porn link in her email. She doesn't even know how to operate email, let alone secure it. That's been going on. Not to mention, she wants to tell everybody she's healthy, but she's coughing up a lung. Like Doc Holliday in, Tombstone. She's not our Huckleberry. That's all I'm saying. Let's do rallies, you guys. Donald Trump will be, as I said, stuff's going to pop up in the week. Just like I said. You should wait around for question and answers. Form your hatred into a question. And right after rallies, I will answer that question. So, just like I said, you guys, stuff's going to be popping up over the week in this gap. What I tell you, Donald Trump's going to be at a special event tomorrow at 11 a.m., Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I don't know what it is. I haven't found out yet, but it's something exciting. So we're going to tune in, and I'll let you know. It'll probably be on rsbn.tv, as all the rallies are, all the back rallies. For all you haters, you can watch the back rallies. It's a great place. They don't pay me. That's just where I get my stuff. So I tell you where to get it because I want you guys to get the information, because the media isn't telling you the information. They're just not doing it. So, also Friday in Pensacola, Florida, 7 p.m. There are no Mike Pence dates as of right now. Let's do question and answer. If you have any questions about Donald Trump, about my support for Donald Trump, any of those things, I will be happy to answer them now. I kind of wait for people to type in case they're typing. They're probably not typing. Usually, at this point, this is when the haters, all go away. Because it's, you actually have to defend your position. And frankly, F Trump isn't really an easy position to defend, because it's not really a position. It's just sort of a curse. It's just sort of a bad word. It's not really a thing. So, alright. Let's do Trump reason, you guys. Trump reason of the day. Donald Trump listens. Donald Trump listens. He has gone out to the African American church to listen. He sits down at these panels with the union members to listen. He continues to with the veterans' wives and with the military officials and with the veterans and the military moms. That's what I was trying to say. He sits down and listens. If you've ever watched Hillary Clinton, especially if you watch Hillary Clinton talk to, I'm sure you've seen when she's talking to the coal miners and they're kind of cussing her out for saying that she's going to get rid of their jobs. You can literally see her not listening. Even when her only purpose is to be there and she says, I'm here to listen. Don't listen. She just has a pat little politician answer afterwards. Donald Trump, on the other hand, comes and listens and absorbs and takes it in and then has been using that information to form his policies, which is absolutely what we need in leadership. It's my Trump reason of the day. Donald Trump listens. So, Nate Zoltan, you have missed question and answer period, but if you have a question you'd like to ask or answer, you are welcome to answer that. Or if you just want to insult, then, it's not going to be very entertaining for you. It's going to be kind of boring, because, believe me, I've heard it all. Okay, so, want to talk a little bit about this, you guys. Over the weekend, as you know, I am in Chicago. Quiet. That's not true. There's many Latinos who love Donald Trump, who support Donald Trump, and support the jobs he is going to bring back for not just white Americans, but for black, Latino, Asian, all Americans. Everybody likes to eat. They like to work. They like to own their property. They like to be proud of what they're doing, of all races. And there are all races supporting Trump. Sikhs, all religions. Sikhs, Muslims, Catholics, Jews. There's Democrats for Trump. There's gays for Trump. There's gay Democrats for Trump. Everything. Everything for Trump. So, it just is what it is. Now, because I live in Chicago, it's hard to get a lot of Trump people coming out. Don't come out. So, I'm going to show you a little few minutes of a video I did. It's your stand no, CNN doesn't say that because they lie. Water tower in Chicago doing yet another experiment. Yet another social experiment. Let's see if we can see this. There we go. The Trump sign on a city street in Chicago. So we got a lot of traffic. We got a lot of people. We're going to see what happens. So there's a little video, you guys. I'm going to post this. That's just a teaser. That's just a teaser because all the good parts where they cussed and everything later on in the video. And I will post that on the Trump Talk US page. Or you can find that on YouTube at One Woman for Trump. One, the number, woman for Trump. You can check that out. There's also my latest One Woman for Trump PAC ad on there and my Wrigley Field rally. I did 2 rallies. Go check it out. Good stuff. Let's do the hotties. What if Trump doesn't win? Well, then I think our country is going to fall to more globalist agenda. We're going to lose more jobs. Our taxes are going to continue to be highly prohibitive. More businesses are going to leave the country because they can't afford to be here. We're going to end up more dependent with a larger poverty class and a shrinking middle class that continues to burden the American taxpayer with the huge progressive spending that we've seen on the left and frankly in much of the right. So, we'll be bankrupt, we will be burdened with taxes we can't afford, and our jobs will fly overseas. The opposite will happen when Trump is elected. Let's do Trump hotties. Love this girl. She might be some sort of teacher because she has like crayons or snacks. I haven't figured it out. I haven't figured out what she's doing, but she's very happy. And she's got this great flag. So here, we'll just show you. Adorable. Probably, she seems like she's Asian of some descent, but, she could be mixed. You never know, because this is what's great about America. I'll post it on the Trump Talk page. What's great about America is you never know. You don't know if somebody is white or black. You can see somebody who looks really black, and they might actually be half white. You can see somebody who looks really white, they might be half black. Kaepernick. Just all different kinds of people in America. You never know. We're an excellent example of the melting pot, and thank God for that. We want to save that as much as possible by providing the economy that built that reality, you guys. So important. Since we have a few people, let's talk a little bit about China owns America. I would love to ask you. You say Trump concerns you. What exactly concerns you? Let's talk about that for a minute. What exactly concerns you about Trump? Because for somebody who posts China owns America, that actually seems to me like a position that would understand Donald Trump's very strong position on addressing the Chinese currency manipulation issue, as well as their cyber theft, as well as many other problems with China. What part of foreign policy? That's actually a pretty big... Are you familiar with his "we're not doing nation building anymore"? Okay, that's a good point. I'm concerned Trump won't build a wall. Shouldn't be concerned about that. Trump's going to build a wall. I will guarantee you Donald J. Trump is going to build the wall. First off, you got to understand something, you guys. The wall's already been... We've already agreed to a border fence. We really just need to improve what has already been passed through Congress and actually get it done. Now, if what you're saying is you don't think Donald Trump is going to take what's already been approved, improve it, and actually get it done, then I'm not sure that you are following the career of Donald Trump. That's what Donald Trump does. He comes in, finds government problems that haven't worked out, take the ice rink, solves the problem, gets it paid for and done. So, I'm pretty sure Donald Trump will in fact build that wall. One, because it's profoundly necessary to the security of the country. But two, it's already been agreed to, you guys. We don't need to pass a whole bunch more laws. There's already Hillary Clinton voted for it. Because if you recall, Bill Clinton thought border security was actually really important back in the day. Now it's racist, but then it was noble. So I wouldn't worry about that. Now, as far as foreign policy is concerned, China owns America. What part of foreign policy are you concerned? Can he deport all the criminals? Yeah. No, not a problem at all. I mean, it'll take a little... It's not going to be in 1 second. It's not going to be in 1 week. But yeah, 99%. You're never going to get everybody, but 95 to 99%. Yeah, definitely. We're catching them and releasing them. We're letting criminals go and come back for their court dates. We have sanctuary cities that are literally avoiding picking them up. We're going to end all of that. And we're literally shackling law enforcement from going out and dealing with these individuals. The law enforcement knows. They know the Latino gangs that all have packs of illegal gang members here in the country. They know. They have a list of these guys. They can't do anything because the way the laws are. They won't be enforced. You're going to go pick people up over and over and over. No, he's going to do extreme vetting. He's not banning Islams. That's not even a thing. He's not banning Muslims. He's not banning a religion. You can still be a Muslim and be American. You be a Muslim American. Talk about that in a second. That's important. Be a Muslim American. There's no problem with that. But we're not going to also just let you come into the country without being able to vet you and understand that not only are you here do we know where you came from and why you want to come here, but we have some assurance that you're not coming here to attack us. Does that sound like attacking us? Does it sound like going soft? We're going to extreme vet people. We're not going to let them in from countries. We're not going to let them in from anywhere unless we know who they are and why they are here, and if they're willing to accept our values. That seems like almost harder than his original position, not softer. So, no, he didn't ever promise that. He never promised to ban Islam. Not one single time has he promised to do that. He promised a travel ban on Muslims coming into the country. You should read what the man said. Stop thinking he said something he didn't say. He's not banning Islam. That's not going to happen. It constitutionally cannot happen. But you can, in fact, control how people come here. So, let's talk about this Japan nuclear issue. Listen about this Japan thing, okay? We are going to need... You're crazy. Bye, Felicia. And they go away. And they go away. See? That is what a troll is. You guys, trolls pretend to be Trump supporters. So they're like, oh, and then they say a bunch of racist things. They try to get you to respond to them and go, yeah. So then they film you and get you looking racist. That's their whole trick. I don't fall for it because I'm not buying any of that racist crap. Donald Trump does not hate Muslims, does not hate Islam. He's not trying to ban the religion. We're not at war with the entire religion of Islam. We are at war with radical Islamic terror. I don't believe you. That is not a troll. That is a serious Trump supporter. I do not believe you. That's great. I don't believe anyone who has been following the campaign of Donald Trump and tells me, you're a Trump supporter. You're a Trump supporter. You've been following the campaign. You're telling me that man was following the campaign of Donald J. Trump and somehow decided that Trump said he's going to ban Islam. Great. Great. You've seen him many times trolling because that is an insane thing. You didn't follow Trump. If you think Donald Trump said he's going to ban Islam, you, one, are not following the campaign at all of Donald J. Trump. So don't tell me you support Donald Trump if you don't even know what Donald Trump supports. Two, come on. That is unconstitutional. It's not going to happen. Exactly. It's not going to happen. He's a hillbot. I know. designed to make us look bad. The racists are on the left. Yeah, no, the racists are on the left. That is absolutely 100% true. Now, I want to talk about this Japan issue. Okay, because I want to talk about this. There are some people, mostly never-Trumpers, but that's all right, that are upset about Donald Trump saying that Japan may need to protect itself, if they are not, listen to the critical words you guys always miss, if they are not willing to pay for the security we are giving them. It's called the art of the deal. It's called a negotiation. Okay? In a negotiation, you have to be willing to walk away. Do you know what walk away means? Walk away means we no longer provide basically free security for Japan. Now, what would that mean? That means that Japan would have to invest money in increasing its military, increasing its self-protection. Does that mean they might build a nuclear bomb? That's not really for us to say. They might, and then we have to have a whole debate with that in the world. But that has nothing to do with Donald Trump saying that, okay. There's nothing to do with Donald Trump saying that Japan is going to have to get its own nuclear weapons. That's not what he said. What he said is that Japan has to pay for the free security they're getting from the United States. And if they don't, we might walk away from the table. It's the same thing with NATO. We're not saying we're getting out of NATO. What we're saying is that NATO needs, the other NATO members need to live up the agreements, to live up to the agreements they made to NATO, or we may need to change the parameters of our agreement. It's called negotiation. You haven't seen it in government in so long, you don't know what it looks like. But it is what it is. How does that not make sense to everyone? I don't know. I wish I could heart like 100 times. Can I heart for? No, I can't heart myself. I want to heart you. Yes. How does everyone not understand this is negotiation? The same thing with Mexico. He goes down to Mexico. The president of Mexico says, I'm not paying for the wall. Donald Trump says, we don't need to talk about that right now. Let's just get to know each other. Do we agree we both need a wall? Well, yeah, we agree we both need a wall. Great. We agree on this, on one thing. We'll talk about the rest of it later. It's called negotiation. It's called negotiation. Oh my gosh, you guys. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's bring up this point here. A little bit of news I forgot, and I got here in the box before we do the end of this show. Interesting fact that Goldman Sachs has banned its top executives, top members of Goldman Sachs, from donating to the Donald Trump campaign. No, they did not discuss who's paying. The President Nieto said he's not paying. Donald Trump didn't respond. That is not a discussion, so they didn't discuss it. It's not time to discuss it. It's time to get to know each other and find common ground. That's how you negotiate things. You're like, great. You walk in, okay, the car dealer, he's there. He wants to sell you a car, and you want to buy a car, but you want the best deal. So you're going to negotiate. So he's going to try to be friendly, but he can't be a jerk and be like, you have to buy this car, or you're going to walk away. It's a negotiation. They had a Taco Bowl. I wish they did. That would be delicious. Absolutely. I would hope that President Nieto would make him, have him, provide him some sort of authentic meal. Yeah, I'm being facetious. That's me being funny. Let's talk a little bit about this Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs has banned its top executives from donating to the Trump campaign, but not to the Hillary Clinton campaign. Isn't that interesting? No, that doesn't... both campaigns have members of the campaign staff that have formerly been worked at Goldman Sachs. So it seems like, there's no reason that particularly Goldman Sachs would support Hillary Clinton over Donald Trump, except for the fact, I'm assuming that Donald Trump intends to deal with the tax base and the hedge fund problem. And, deal with the tax base and the hedge fund problem. And Hillary Clinton's just going to let him keep, making money hand over fist. So I'm pretty sure that's why they're doing that. And Hillary Clinton's obviously the Wall Street candidate, which is so funny that the left is the one electing her. Your faith in Trump is in for a big shock. When he wins and makes America great, no, it's actually going to be awesome. And it'll be awesome for you too. And even if you don't live here in America, it's actually going to be awesome for other countries. When America isn't running around basically collapsing the Middle East and causing unrest and civil disorder. Yeah, it'll be great. Now, you had made a comment about China starting a war with China. Are you familiar with what China's been doing? Are you familiar? I really wish they would educate themselves on the candidates, too. You have insider information. Yeah, exactly. When he starts screwing up, and I don't think you know Donald Trump. You've not followed anything about the. If you think Donald Trump's all of a sudden going to change from the successful person who continues to fight and win and fight and win and fight and win, even in the face of huge, crushing pressures and vicious public hatred, what are you, 20? I mean, did you miss all the tabloid years? Donald Trump's not a quitter. So, that whole where he like starts messing up and screws everybody over, not a thing. He's not a war maker either. Absolutely correct. Hillary is a war maker. Libya, Syria, this is all Hillary Clinton. Egypt, melted down. Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton created all of that unrest. We saw her pushing. We saw her pushing in Libya for military intervention. We saw, yes, Hillary Clinton is directly part of the reason the Middle East is unstable. That is absolutely correct. We saw her pressing for getting rid of Gaddafi. We saw her pressing again and again in Egypt. Mubarak, we saw her again and again pressing to go into these situations, get rid of a strong Yemen, Iraq, correct. Get rid of a strong, unfortunate dictator. Gaddafi was cooperating with us, doing everything we asked. Everything we asked. Still winning. Still undermined. Still collapsed. Muslim Brotherhood, country all falling apart. And they're worried about Trump starting war. Yeah, so let's talk about China for a minute. China's at war with us, okay? And with their Japanese neighbors. They're building islands to conduct war off so they can control the Chinese Sea. Are you aware? We have been so weak on China that we have allowed them to basically start the war with us alone. And we are just like, oh, I don't know what China's doing. They're doing all these military things and we don't understand. Whatever. They're building islands to hold military bases on. Whatever. It's just China. They're not trying to hurt us. They're stealing daily, stealing our intellectual property, hacking into our government computers, cyber attacks constantly, already attacking us. We are already in a shadow war with China. Some people argue we've been in a shadow war with China since Vietnam, but it's certainly amped up them towards us in the last, 10, 15 years? And now they literally are in an economic war where they try to undermine devalue their currency so they can undermine us economically. It's literally manipulating their currency as a monetary attack against the dollar and thus the United States. Now, why are they able to do that? Because we don't call them out as currency manipulators, because we don't call them out as taking over territory in the South China Sea, and we don't call them out at violating their trade agreements with us over and over and over again, as with Japan. They tax our goods that come there against the agreements we made with them. And you know who else? We also owe Japan. We owe many countries. Yes, you can buy American bonds. That's great. That's great. But that's something you need to understand. They say that we owe China trillions. That's right. So they need us to continue to succeed, because if we don't succeed, then they don't get their money back. If you think that us owing China money in bond form in the markets in any way affects our ability to negotiate with them, you really don't understand big money banking. It actually gives us more leverage, because what they don't want us doing is defaulting. So, until we call them currency manipulators, we're never going to address that situation properly and control China from continuing to engage in not just the cyber war, not just the monetary war, but the physical war, the physical land grab that's going on in the China Seas. Yes, and they need and they need the same. You see, we need their money, and they need our money. They need our interest. They need they need us to continue to buy goods. They're not taxing our goods. They're taxing our goods that come in, but we're not taxing their goods. You see, it's great. And the whole monetary system of bonds and loaning money internationally would work fine. But we can't allow trade violations. We can't literally let Japan and China tax our goods and prevent our goods from going in when we have an agreement that they must accept our goods untaxed, while we do not do that, while we let their goods come here untaxed. That is unfair trade. It's not fair trade. It's not free trade. It is unfair trade. It is a trade war. China is already in a trade war with us. Somebody needs to stand up and actually fight back, and that only person is going to be Donald J. Trump. So, we have that now. We have a trade war now. We are currently involved in a trade war. They tax our goods, we don't. They steal our intellectual property, we don't. We're in a trade war with China right now. Trade war. Yes, trade war with China right now. Mm-hmm. Trade war. You should look it up. That's what it is. Ask China. Why do they continue to assault us? So, no, Trump is actually the only one who's going to make it right, because Trump actually understands that you don't just let China get away with everything and you just go, oh, there's nothing we can do. There's plenty we can do. We have a huge amount of leverage in all of the international bodies as well as monetarily with China. So, yes, let's please stop sending our chickens to China to be processed. This is exactly the kind of thing we don't want to do. Mark, I know you wanted to say that, but you have no evidence of that. Hillary's going to screw it up worse. So, no, I'm actually a little more pro-choice than Trump. Yeah, Donald Trump scares the heck out of China and out of the politicians who are making money hand over fist not fighting that war. Okay? Do you understand why we don't go in and make sure that China doesn't tax our goods? Because companies that operate in China, who've already sent their jobs over to China, lobby, okay? American companies went to China, lobby our politicians, pay them money to not go after China. Chinese interests are buying our country. They're buying it. And you should actually read Trump's immigration policies and foreign policies. Do you like occupation? Let me just ask you, Mark. Do you like occupying other nations? Do you think that's a good idea? The reason we don't make anything here anymore is because of the trade deals that we've engaged in that allowed China to continue to steal our goods. So you like occupying nations. You want to go into other countries just nation build. Just spend billions of dollars in foreign countries. Building other nations, being quagmired in military conflict for decades. That's what you want. Yes, of course. All right, well then, you're an idiot. And that's how we do that. Do you agree with banning Muslims from entering the country like Trump? Have you heard Trump's... We just talked about this earlier, but we'll talk about it again for a second. Have you heard Trump's recent position on that with extreme vetting? Let me ask you a question. Do you think we should let people into the country with no way to figure out where they've been, knowing full well there are those who want to come here and cause terror? Like, I don't know who you are. Let's say someone walks up to your door and goes, knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. I'd like to come in. It's scary out here. Bad people are trying to get me. And we're like, well, who are you? And they go, can't tell you. Would you let that person in? I wouldn't let that person in. No reasonable person would let that person in. Someone who's not going to explain who they are, who can't explain who they are. So, I think it's actually, there's not a debate, it's a town hall back and forth. I think it's on the 9th. Is it tomorrow? I think it's on the 9th. So, now, what you should notice is Donald Trump has not specified you will be banned because you're a Muslim. No, we're going to extreme vet. We're going to figure out where you're from, why you're coming here, and are you motivated to participate in the United States, or do you hate the United States? I think that's very reasonable. If you want a visa to come here and work in the United States, we should know you don't hate the United States. I think it's a good way to sort out. He does not plan to ban all Muslims from coming here. He plans to do extreme vetting so that we can find the radical Muslims out of regular Muslims. If you're a criminal, you're gone. Yeah, that's as far as, that's certainly, or if you have any record, it can't be found. Trudeau's refugees are all at the food bank. Yeah, Canada has some problems. Will you cry when Obama leaves office out of joy? Yes, out of joy. Because finally, well, unless Hillary's won, finally we'll get a chance to save our country. So yeah, I've been waiting for this president to go for a long time. And I didn't really like the one before that either. So, there's a difference between moderate Muslim. Yes. And I would say this even beyond that. Not just moderate. Modern. Modern Muslims versus radical Muslims. So, when you... Because I have many Muslim friends in Chicago. Obviously, we have many Muslim people that live in Chicago. I have Muslim friends. You meet Muslim people all the time. There are modern Muslims who are capable of living in cosmopolitan lifestyles. They are comfortable living next to others who do not have to share their values, and they share their own values. It's a very modern position. Christianity didn't used to be that position. It's a modern position. Certainly, I'll come back to that. As well as many other religions have this similar phenomenon. They modernized. There are very modern Muslims who are very cosmopolitan and can live in society very easily, and there are many groups in very, rural-based countries. They're living still in very small, in very, what we would consider third world conditions, not modern, and still very tribalized. And so that is a lot of warlords, a lot of this family honor. So problematic. You asked me, would I ban people from what countries? I don't think that's what we're talking about. We're banning people who cannot be vetted. Okay? So, if you are coming from Saudi Arabia and you're a doctor who's being tormented by your government, and you have been a Christian, maybe you're a Christian, maybe you preach in a Christian church, and you feel you're being tormented, and you have your records and how long you've been at that church and how long you've lived here, we'll probably let you in. Heck, you may be a Muslim, but you're being tormented because you're a modern Muslim, and are saying in your country women should go to school, and you support the values of modernity. We might let you in. Are you a radical Muslim who wants to bring Sharia law here to America, and you're from Syria, and we don't even know who your parents were or where your hometown was? Yeah, we're probably not letting you in. Called vetting. How do we know who's it? Through vetting. I don't feel like this is difficult for you. I don't know why this is so difficult for you to understand. Through vetting. So you understand people's motivations and connections. If you can't come up with reasonable connections, reasonable evidence as to why you're coming here to the country and that you're going to assimilate comfortably, I see no reason we should let you in. Any hints of Sharia needing to be actively discouraged? Yes, we need to, not just that, we need to actually engage in an overt legislative statement here in the United States that discusses how there is no law but the U.S. Constitution. No other law can stand in the United States. So there cannot be Sharia law in the United States because the Constitution is the law of the land. And it specifically prohibits many of the things in Sharia. So it cannot happen here. Anyone pushing for it to happen here, not going to happen. No haps. It's unconstitutional. It is what it is. So, let's do this, you guys. It's getting late. We've had a great discussion. We can continue this tomorrow at Trumpetarian. You can follow me on Twitter. You can email the show, trumptalkus@gmail.com. You can, of course, see all of our back episodes, www.trumptalk.us. Go ahead and check out One Woman for Trump on YouTube. That's where I have my One Woman Trump rallies. We're going to try to get more and more people. Trump is up 5 points in Ohio. I know, I'm excited. The polls are so good for us, you guys. So good. So, we're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to talk more about the polls. We're going to find out what this Philly event is, and we're going to go from there. I appreciate everybody who came in. Thank you. Bless you guys. I want to thank even my detractors and all of this. This has been a great discussion. That we had to get rid of some people earlier, but there's a lot of good, positive discussion tonight. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in and keeping it intellectual. It's nice. Thumbs up. Really appreciate that. And so let's play this out music. I'll be done. From me, Little Chumpy. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 95. We love you. We're going to be back tomorrow with more trumping. We love this country. We're going to make America great again with your help. Keep on, keeping on. Keep sharing this Hillary news, you guys. We're making ground. We're going to beat her. See you tomorrow.